So what does that mean in terms of the school buildings and our ability to house them? It kind of tells me that we are going to have a surplus if we don't have a surplus already.
Yes, in fact, I have the school projected population, and everything she said is absolutely true. We do have a declining population. We have a lower rate of kindergartners entering into kindergarten, and our highest population is in the high school right now. So I'm not going to add any more to that.
Well, first I just want to make a slight correction, because charter schools are public schools.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
that's right. Okay.
They are public schools,
Yes,
and there is a waiting list for kids to get into Molalla Academy, which I think says a lot about that. There's about 180 kids out there right now, and it's just a precious little tiny building, but people want that. And Rick Gill, I think we've all spoken with him. He is extremely conservative. He is being conservative when he estimates 30 less children next year. That's a whole classroom. That's a whole classroom. That's a whole teacher.
Is that all levels?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you know, it's the equivalent of a whole teacher. So, I think that's sad, and I think we're at a crossroads in this community, both with the city and its government and the school, and we can do some things. We have the opportunity right now to really make some changes and making this more enticing to people to move in. So get some of those real estate signs out of Big Meadows. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. It just seems, population isn't going up right now. We do have some surplus room, but you have to look at where it is. Like Molalla Elementary School right in town, that's pretty close to being packed. There's a lot of extra room at the high school, so it's not as simple as just that there's a surplus room and we have room for everyone. It's different places. And like if you were going to close the middle school, then you've got to worry about putting the sixth graders back. They were not all going to fit in Molalla Elementary School, the ones that came from there. So what do you do then? So there needs to be a lot more discussion about kind of what we're planning to do. Get some portables there, add on, change those boundaries a little bit so it's more evenly distributed. So that's kind of all I got on that right now.
Well, I think we've got surplus room, and I think we've got room to move kids around, but getting a real clear idea on where our surplus room seems to be an extremely difficult task to get a clear answer from the administration on where we have extra rooms. And I do think that the enrollment is declining. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. So I think we have some room to move kids around.
I think part of the problem is that it depends on who you talk to. So I decided, I've kind of been a person who, I may talk to the head shed and I get an answer, then I'll turn around and go check. And from what I understand, as an example, we have probably about 3 classrooms that could be empty at Clark's. We have about 3, according to Alan over there, that we could have probably about 3 classrooms open up there. Rural Dell is a little bit tighter, but my understanding is we can have at least 1 classroom there, and the principal feels that they could take care of their 6th graders without any trouble. We could probably have, by changing some things around, not that the district office would agree with me, but from what I understand, we could probably come up with maybe 1 classroom at Molalla Elementary. So we would need to have some help there. And it is pretty tight, there's no doubt about that. But you also have to remember, Molalla Elementary never was a K through 8. All the other schools were, but not Molalla Elementary. The upper grades went over to what is now the middle school, which was never designed as a middle school anyway. So, there are some things that we would have to do. We definitely have room at the high school. The high school teachers don't like me saying that, but we do. When you walk into, as an example, the weight room at the high school, you better watch it because you open up the door and it'll knock your socks off. Classrooms were never designed to have the air movement that a weight room really needs to have, as an example. That's a double classroom. The weight room used to be up on the balcony in the gym, where there's a lot more free airspace, just as an example. I would put it back up there You would be surprised how many classrooms you could actually come up with at the high school if it were used the way the building was designed. We do have a declining population of students for a number of reasons. They expect the population to be flat or declining over the next 4 to 5 years. We need to look at using our facilities differently. And it's not a good or bad, it's just that's what we have to do.
Thank you. That concludes our questions for the school board candidates. We appreciate you taking the time to be here tonight and sticking with us.
Thank you.